grade 5 students of Rossi and Quispamsis. My name is Corporal Crystal Daly. I'm a member of the Kennebecasis Regional Police Force. We've been teaching the DARE program for over 20 years, and we didn't think it was fair that you guys be the only class to miss out because of everything that's going on right now. So we've decided to try to give it to you in the best way that we can, which is online. Unfortunately, you were all supposed to have different DARE teachers unless you went to Rossi Elementary, which was my school. So you're going to get me this year. I'm going to try to deliver it as close to the program as humanly possible, but this is all new for me as well. Normally I'm not in front of a camera. I try to avoid them actually, but this is important. So I'm going to try to deliver this program the best way that I can, and hopefully you guys learn something. It's going to be different. We're going to be learning together, but that's usually my experience in the DARE program. Every year is different, so this is just something new, and we get to roll with it. I've been a DARE teacher for 13 years. I've been a police officer for 13 years. I love teaching this program. Like I said, it's different every year. So we're going to take this to learn, and hopefully you guys get something from it. DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, but we don't just teach about drugs in this program. It's actually the opposite. We teach a little bit about the most common drugs, alcohol and tobacco, but mostly we teach you how to resist if you're ever put into a bad situation, how to get out of it. What are the two most common reasons why kids your age and a little bit older start taking these substances? So that's mostly what the program is going to be about. It's going to be about staying healthy, making good choices, and learning how to get out of situations if you happen to find yourselves in them. But to build the foundation, first, we are going to talk about a drug. The first lesson in the DARE program is about alcohol. There's a fact sheet, a did you know fact sheet about alcohol. You can read along. I'm going to read them to you, and then we're going to answer a few questions about alcohol. So the first fact about alcohol use. Alcohol is illegal for anyone under the age of 19 years of age in Canada, 18 years of age in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec. The second fact. There are 6,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in Canada. Most teens don't drink alcohol. Mixing alcohol with medicine is dangerous. Teen bodies are still growing. Therefore, alcohol affects them more severely than adults. Some health effects of alcohol use. The first one, alcohol slows down the brain and body. Effects may include loss of coordination, poor judgment, memory loss, loss of self-control, slow reflexes. Another point about the health effects of alcohol use. Alcohol weakens the heart muscle, reduces the amount of blood pumped to and from the heart. Too much alcohol can slow down the body and lead to coma and death. Alcohol goes directly into the bloodstream and can damage every organ of your body. So we're going to answer a couple of questions now. There are 6 fill-in-the-blank questions. And I should try to explain, one of the things in the DARE program when you're teaching in a classroom is you get to tell stories. So I have a couple of stories that I share with all of my DARE kids, and I'm going to share them with you as well. Normally you guys get to share stories with us. Obviously that can't happen right now, but I want you guys to think in the back of your head while I'm telling stories or while I'm talking, and maybe come up with some examples of your own, or even some questions. If you have any questions, you can always write to us, and I'm going to put my email on the screen as well. You can email me any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go looking for it, and I'll get back to you. So the first fill-in-the-blank question. Number 1, alcohol is blank for anyone under the age of 19 years of age in Canada, 18 years of age in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec. And here's where my first story is. I grew up in a town called Dalhousie, which is in the northern part of New Brunswick. Dalhousie is about 25 minutes away from the city of Campbellton. Campbellton is a very short bridge ride across and into Quebec. Now, from your facts, it's 19 years of age, the legal drinking age in New Brunswick. It's 18 in Quebec. So when all of my friends were in high school and they were turning 18, they used to get in their cars on the weekends, drive across into Quebec, buy alcohol, and then drive home and drink it. So my question is that legal or illegal? It's kind of both, and I'll explain. When they got into their car and they drove over into Quebec, they went and they bought their alcohol. That's legal. They were 18, they were in Quebec, and the legal drinking age is 18. So they bought their alcohol legally. But as soon as they crossed back over into New Brunswick, you're bound by New Brunswick law. And in New Brunswick, it's 19. So even though they bought their alcohol legally, they drank it illegally. It's very important when you travel that you understand and know the different laws in different countries that you go to. Some don't have drinking ages. Some have drinking ages where you're in your early teens. It all depends on the country. Even in Canada, in our different provinces, we have 2 different drinking ages. Our neighbors to the south, the States, their legal drinking age is 21. So when you travel, just make sure you know the different laws, because there's no excuse for not knowing them. If you get caught doing something illegal and you say, oh, I didn't know, it doesn't matter. It was your responsibility to know. So just make sure that you know the different laws of the different places that you're going to. Question number 2. Mixing blank with blank is dangerous. The first blank would be alcohol, and the second is medicine. Alcohol is a drug, and anytime you mix one drug with another drug, there is the potential that those drugs can interact. And unfortunately, if you put them in your body, the place where they're going to interact is inside your body. Now, the interaction could be something as mild as being sick and throwing up, or it could be something very, very, very serious. And of course, the most serious thing that it could be would be death. So, as a rule, to be safe, if you're taking medication, don't mix alcohol with any type of medicine. Number 3, there are blank alcohol-related deaths each year in Canada. And the blank for that one is 6,000. Now, unfortunately, those 6,000 people also include innocent people who may have gotten caught in an accident where there was an impaired driver. And even though they weren't drinking, because the person that they were in the accident with had been drinking, it is considered an alcohol-related death. So unfortunately, some of those 6,000 people were innocent people that got caught up in the mistake of one person who had been drinking. Number 4, most teens blank alcohol. And the answer there is don't drink. Now when I'm teaching this, I ask my students if this surprises them. And a lot of them are very surprised that it says most teens don't drink. The actual stat is 20% of students have reported drinking. So that means 2 out of every 10 teenagers has tried drinking. Statistically, it's low, but it's still too high because the legal drinking age is 19. So anybody under the age of 19 who's drinking shouldn't be doing that. Number 5, alcohol slows down the blank and blank. Alcohol slows down the brain and body. Anytime you put a chemical into your system that affects your brain, it is automatically going to affect the rest of your body. The brain is our control center. It makes everything move. So if we put something in there that slows it down or alters the way it communicates with the rest of our body, it stands to reason that everything about us is going to change. Our walking, our talking, how we see, all of it is affected by alcohol. So if you can't walk in a straight line, how can you get behind the wheel of a car and drive properly? That's why impaired driving is such a serious crime. It's completely preventable. There are lots of different options not to get behind the wheel of a car, and some people still make that mistake. It is very, very dangerous, not just for them, but for the people, the innocent people in cars and using the streets. And finally, number 6, 2 health effects of alcohol are blank and blank. And if you look at the fact sheet, there are a bunch of them. Loss of coordination, poor judgment, memory loss, loss of self-control, slow reflexes, and you can probably come up with a few of your own. That's the lesson about alcohol. pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The next time you see me, I'm going to be talking about tobacco. And after that, we're going to learn a little bit about how to resist if you're ever in these situations. So I will see you in our next lesson. Take care.